kind of comic review. Our friends over at IDW once again sent us. So I got this email yesterday or the day before, and it said, I think it was
I'm a
Thursday. I
prince
think it was Thursday
from
because I immediately told you guys about it.
yeah.
And it said,
I'm a
"Hey,
prince from an African nation, and I
that's
need your
right,
help.
that's right." So I send them $10,000, and they sent back a link with TMNT number one. What?
Whoa.
So this won't be out for a couple of weeks, and we won't go too deep into any big spoilers. I don't want to ruin this for anybody that's trying to get into this new Turtles run. But I did want to talk to Jeff about it. I want to talk to the guys about it. Unfortunately, they are all stuck in different federal prisons. Uh, but but yeah. Before we get into this, Jeff, have you been reading Turtle comics in the past?
The only turtles I've ever read are the like very first 5 issues, 5 or 6 issues, a
Classic,
trade of
yeah.
that super classic stuff. And then I picked up the free comic book day comic that they had. They had a one shot that they put out, and then
The,
this. I've read
the
this now.
alpha thing with Donatello.
The alpha thing, yeah. So the alpha thing kind of kicks off this Jason Aaron.
Yes.
So Jason Aaron has taken over the main Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comic, uh, and again they put out the free comic book day, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Alpha, and then
You
uh,
you want to
this
give us
they're
a
doing.
little background on the free comic book day? Like, what was that? What was that kind of about? If you remember, because I'm not a lot of people. Sometimes people don't have access to that stuff, and if you don't remember, that's fine. I don't mean to put you on the spot. I just
I'm trying to
I don't
remember.
remember
Is that
reading
the
that.
one that? So which one had Donatello? That's the one I remember. Was
Donatello
that the
was the
Alpha?
alpha issue, which I don't think we talked about it on stream, but we do have a video on the channel if anybody wants to go check that out.
Okay, that's the one I definitely remember.
Okay,
Um, so in the
so
Alpha issue, yeah, we pick up with Donatello. So I guess
okay,
the thing about this is that where each story, each comic, so the first 4 issues are going to individually deal with each turtle individually. They are not
correct,
together in this at all.
correct. So
They have split up.
let me give you a little bit of a synopsis on this one, and then we'll talk a little bit more about some high level thoughts on this. So, uh, TMNT number one is written by Jason Aaron with art by Joel Jones, which I'll talk about in a second because I love her work. With colors by Rhonda Pattinson and letters by Sean Lee, because as I mentioned, if you watched our Rocketeer stuff, or if you were here 5 minutes ago, Sean Lee letters pretty much everything over at AW. New series premiere, new jumping on point. That's a big selling point for this, I think. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles have all left New York to pursue their own interests, but there are forces gathering that will pull them back together, whether the bad guys like it or not. First up, we have Raphael. But why is everyone's favorite brawler in prison? When a surprise attack behind bars puts Raph's position in jeopardy, he needs to figure out how to get out of jail to warn his brothers that trouble is coming. Superstar writer Jason Aaron, who's done things like The Mighty Thor or Batman Off-World, teams up with Joel Jones, who's worked on comics like Lady Killer or Catwoman, for the first issue of the new TMNT series that will start a bold new era, celebrating TMNT's 40th anniversary while setting them up for 40 next years to come. Um, that's a lot of information thrown out there, but let's talk about the creative team first a little bit. I think we probably talked about Jason Aaron a lot. As far as a creator, that's somebody that we both read plenty of. Um, it,
I didn't realize this was Joel Jones artwork until about midway through,
yeah,
because I'm not used to seeing Joel Jones artwork without any beautiful women
that's
killing
true.
people or stealing anything or whatever. Um, yeah, so I was like, I've never seen her draw a turtle before.
Like, why is
uh,
Ralph so hot? I don't understand.
yeah, what's going on? Uh, yeah, I really I love Joelle Jones's artwork. I don't even think it had any of her signature like ink splotches or anything in it.
No, or like those like I feel like sometimes she does these little thicker lines in some of the characters. But
Yeah,
I feel like that's more reserved for, like you mentioned, some of the more heisty kind of comics. This one is not that. This one's more of a prison break, maybe I want to call it, just from the synopsis.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so that's very interesting. What do you think? I mean, starting with Raphael, uh, it's an interesting choice because I feel like that's going to be the most action packed of the bunch.
Yeah.
Um, compared to other turtles, maybe Mikey's or Leonardo's is going to be. I feel like Leonardo's is going to be more introspective. Uh,
He's probably crocheting somewhere.
yeah, we've already seen a little bit of what Donatello's doing in the Alpha issue in that mutant animal fight club.
I mean, Donatello's not that much different than what Raphael is doing, honestly.
Yeah,
Um, yeah,
I
I think it's interesting they split him up. I mean, it's a good storytelling kind of way to be like, a reintroduction to all of these characters. I don't know. I didn't. So without having, I know that there was a big lead up in the last series
mhm,
that ended, and there was a big to do, but I didn't read any of that stuff. So I
right.
don't know if this is just like we pick up months later and there's something that they're going to fill us in as to why they've
Yeah.
split up, or if they ended up splitting up at the end of the last
Do you,
series.
do you feel this was a good jumping on point for somebody that has really, you know, like never or almost hasn't read any of the turtles? Like you
Uh,
know who the turtles are because you probably saw a movie or something, but you've
yeah,
never read the
yeah, it's
comics.
pretty. Yeah, if you, yeah, it's definitely a good jumping on point. You kind of have to suspend, use your
Hmm.
if they were not turtles and you were just picking this up and it's just some bruiser guy that's in jail and he's kind of giving you all the exact same information, you're just going along with it. I think because it's the turtles, you kind of feel like you're maybe missing out on something, but I don't think that's the
Yeah,
case. I think that's that all the thing that you're missing out on are going to be filled in with the later issues. It's just the
I
storytelling.
I don't think I ever would have thought about comparing a Ninja Turtle story to Shawshank Redemption, but here we are,
Yeah, but here we are. Yeah.
right? Like
this is
it's
this is the
crazy.
Shawshank of the
The
Turtles
Shawshank
universe.
turned into Shawshank Ninja Turtles. It's pretty wild, but I mean that's kind of the fun about getting into a Jason Aaron book that you
I don't think
really
I can
don't
handle the
know.
outside, Raphael.
Yeah, so it's pretty wild. I agree with you. I feel like this is a fun jumping on point. I think
Yeah.
if you're a new comic reader, you might struggle a little bit with like figuring out. But the beauty is that I'm telling you now, it doesn't matter. Like whatever you think you're missing out on, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like you can go back and read it later on if you feel that's something you need to do. And I would encourage you to because there's a lot of. So I've read some of the. I think Ninja Turtles rebooted in 2012 with Tom Waltz, and
Mhm.
Tom Waltz has been kind of a steady hand guiding everything since then to now. Um, and then you also have stuff like The Last Ronin and the crossovers with the Usagi Yojimbo. So like there's a and or the if you like the Saturday morning cartoons, there's a Saturday morning cartoons version of the Turtles that comes out every once in a while
Turtles in
to give
Time.
you a different feel. Uh, I wouldn't be
Teenage
surprised if
Mutant
they
Ninja.
do a yeah.
There's that Oprah episode.
That's right. Where Mikey keeps jumping on the couch.
Yeah.
Uh, he's so happy.
He's
She
so
got him a
happy.
pizza.
Have you seen that Oprah? Have you seen the Oprah when they
No,
are on
no, no.
Oprah's?
I was just yes
Yeah.
ending.
Oh, there is an actual episode of early Oprah. This is back when the Turtles were doing their musical tour. So
Oh
that
yeah. Okay.
so post the second movie, I think it's the second movie. This is back when touring children's show, like live action children's show, were a big thing in America. So they had four people dressed up as Ninja Turtles and do a rock concert that traveled around the country. And then they went on Oprah's show for a little bit, for like one episode, where Oprah awkwardly asked them if intimated that they have sex with April.
Well,
Uh,
Jeff, thanks to the magic of the internet, we don't have to just wonder about this clip.
I'm glad you were doing some research while I was vamping.
I
So let's
am.
take a look at this.
I want to say great producer. So Let me put this here.
Yeah.
And let me make sure that it's audible. Give me a second. Oh, where's the... Oh, hold on. Too many windows.
Look at I love that there's just a bunch of kids in the audience.
Well, didn't you know it was a turtle show, right? Oprah knows
Yeah.
her audience.
That blazer is looking good.
It looks like it's
Look at
unmuted.
those shoulder
So.
pads.
Look at that.
Sometimes wish that April was a turtle.
Whoa, definitely.
Conceptually, that works for me.
You know, I've been trying to... Where you going? Ophra.
Man, I cracked myself up.
Ophra, I've been trying to talk her into an interspecies relationships for months now.
Whoa, chill, man.
And she won't do it.
She can't hold her breath.
No, she can't do it.
The biggest problem is she can't hold her breath long enough, you know?
Well, okay, coming up, the Turtles are going to perform their hit. Did you want to say something?
I just wanted to say that
10
the
seconds,
one
please.
thing, the one thing about the Turtles, being a reporter, it's hard for me not to analyze. And the good thing about these guys.
Oh my god!
That one kid's face, classic.
Well, I hope IDW appreciates all of this in the video.
And now we know why Raph is in jail.
That was fantastic. Yeah, now we know. I feel like I mean, you can't blame them. They're teenagers. What else are they going to talk about?
What if secretly this is what Jason Aaron's run is about? Just this episode of Oprah.
It's all based on this Oprah episode.
It's all based on this Oprah episode.
I kind of want to go see the full interview now, but I'll have to do that on my own time.
You can watch that this week and then report to us next week.
Yes.
About the full.
Yes. We might do a more full in-depth review of the first issue. Maybe next week if all the guys are back, I'll just have them read it too.
Mm-hmm.
So stay tuned for that. But I do have.
I will just the tiniest little, not even spoiler that I enjoy is that because the thing mentions that Raphael is in prison.
Yes.
But he still has the mask on in prison, which I thought was good because now we know which one he is. So, had he not had that mask on, how else?
Look, I don't want to say all turtles look the same, but all right, we do have some cool covers. There's no interior art yet. I'm sure we'll get some for next week, but we do have some cool covers. Peach Momoko. Ooh, I don't remember who the second one is by. And the signature's right there, and I can't read it. But we also do have a Sean Murphy cover here. So
is that Joelle Jones, the second one?
I don't think so. No, that doesn't look like her signature because there's an R in the name.
Oh.
I think Joelle Jones might be the main cover that I showed earlier. Maybe.
Oh, maybe she's the main cover.
Maybe we'll see. But like Jeff mentioned, no, this is not. This is Raphael Albuquerque. So, yeah, but like Jeff mentioned, each of the issues will be about one specific turtle. So stay tuned for that. Now, I believe that this issue will come out on July 24th, I believe. So thanks to the IDW for sending us this a little early to check out. And then the next issue might take a little while. I think it's not coming out till September, so you'll have plenty of time to catch up on the turtles, but I'm definitely very excited about it. So thanks again to IDW, and I hope you guys enjoy the turtles going forward. So